What's your take on what we're watching?
I think that the paradox, which is that in having Black Lives Matter on the courts while they're playing, and all the concessions that the NBA has had to make to the demands, of the players to recognize the particulars of this moment, it becomes now a question of, are people simply looking for sports as a means of escaping from the reality of those issues? And I think that presents a dilemma, the dilemma that you heard voiced last night as people were coming to decisions about this. One thing I think we should keep in mind is just how momentous this moment. I would put it in the category of the 1968 protest by John Carlos and Tommie Smith at the Olympics, the famous black gloved, black fist protest, which were in response to the exploitation of African Americans, also the recent assassination of Martin Luther King, or Muhammad Ali refusing to go to Vietnam. We're in that level of discussion here. No one would ever have thought that the NBA playoffs or season could be jeopardized by acts of civil disobedience by NBA players, which are then followed up by baseball players and WNBA players. I think this is a completely amazing development to see here.
Look, I have to say I'm probably most surprised by what we've seen and that baseball is following suit. And I think it shows you sort of where I think it shows you how this movement I think is growing, but particularly among athletes. I think there's a lot of it's funny. I think in locker rooms, the conversations that the rest of the country should be having is taking place in sports locker rooms, perhaps even in baseball clubhouses, that America's not having.
Sure. And I think the idea, there's been this comforting illusion that sports are above politics, or they are the arena that, people can come together and, some of these great unifiers. And, the athletes have been saying for some time, even going back to the Eric Garner protests, and if we just think about that for a second, how people have gone exponentially. We thought it was a big deal when people wore T-shirts that said, "I can't breathe."
When they wore shirts,
Yeah, it's on the shirts. And we have now moved so far beyond that. And so, I think that, what players have been articulating for some time is that, when they leave the arena, when they leave the locker room, when they are, not wearing a uniform for a professional athletic club, they are African Americans, and they confront the same sorts of issues that very many African Americans of various socioeconomic classes, backgrounds, geographic origins, and so on, that we have a kind of unifying theme of having to deal with racism, and an unfortunate amount of it that is directed at us from law enforcement.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Beat the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.